Mystery Mogul. Mystery Mogul on a Thursday afternoon. Chris, what do you have for us today?
We have a story about a woman, an Australian woman, who got kidnapped by aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this story is a little different than other alien stories.
Other alien abduction stories?
Yes, I'd say it has some different circumstances.
Well, let's find out what those different circumstances are.
It was back in 1993, August 7th. Kelly was driving with her husband Andrew. They were driving on a country road. They lived in Australia and they were driving near Melbourne. It was dusk, the sun was about to go down, and they were on their way to a friend's house for dinner. They saw something a little bit unusual in a field in front of them. There were 5 or 6 round-shaped lights. They looked orange and they were shining very brightly. They couldn't identify what they were, and they kept talking about it as they drove on to their friend's house. So they got to their friend's house and they were still talking about the lights to their friends. They ended up just laughing it off. It was just nothing. And they wrapped up a nice evening with their friends and they drove back home. They were back on the same road. It was near midnight. And suddenly, they saw the same lights. The lights were hovering above the road in front of them. And Kelly thought, it looks like a blimp of some sort. A blimp, a flying blimp that is glowing. As they drove closer, to the lights, she saw something even more unusual. So she saw that in each orange light, there were these black silhouettes. And they seemed to be human-shaped.
Oh.
But she could only see these faint black outlines and no details. Suddenly, the lights flew away at incredible speed, just off to the left, and they vanished. They couldn't see them anymore. But then, 1 or 2 kilometers down the road, they saw the lights again. This time, they were in a field to the side of the road, and whatever it was, it seemed to have landed in this field.
No longer hovering.
It was really close to the ground or on the ground. So what is this thing? At this point, her heart began racing a little bit. She started to sense this was no ordinary encounter. And her husband decided to pull over the car. They parked the car on the side of the road, and they got out to check what this was.
Oh no, don't get out of the car. Never get out of the car.
So they got out of the car. They walked across the road to get to the field. They noticed another car had pulled over to the side of the road right in front of them to check out whatever it was. So, it's not just us who's seen this. Other people saw this too. So they walk up to the fence of the field to take a closer look, and she sees this huge craft hovering right above the field. It looks like a disc, like a frisbee, with the orange lights, which are like windows. So she just stared in awe at this craft for about 30 to 45 seconds. A tall, dark being appeared in front of the craft. 7 or 8 more of the same looking things right behind the first thing, being, whatever it was, appeared behind it.
Alien 아저씨 나왔어.
I think so. They were all tall, thin figures, and she could only see glowing eyes and nothing else. In her mind, she suddenly heard, "Let's kill them."
In her mind.
In her mind.
In English?
In English.
Well done, aliens.
Yes.
In an Australian accent.
She felt...
Sorry.
Exactly. Can you do that in Australian? She felt that the aliens were speaking to her through thoughts.
Whoa.
Suddenly, she began to feel some energy go through her. a low-level frequency that came in waves, but the waves were so dense that she could feel it going through her body, and this really horrified her. She began screaming, and at that moment, the figures, they lit up really brightly, and they started charging across the field.
Oh, scary.
Some headed down the field, and the others came directly towards Kelly and her husband, and she started screaming, "They've got no souls, they're evil, they're going to kill us." She suddenly felt a blow to her stomach, bam, and she was knocked to the ground like 2 meters. She flew 2 meters and just fell on the ground, and that's all she can remember to this day.
What happened?
What is it?
What is going on? I mean, if it's just the sighting, right?
Yeah.
If you're just driving on the road and you see some lights, whatever, right? But if you're driving again and you see some, because they went to their friend's house, came back, and that's when this happened.
They had a nice dinner.
So it wasn't just the sighting. She was attacked.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kate?
I don't know. It's hard to, because usually, the theory is if you've sighted some kind of an alien, they kind of have similar descriptions, right?
Yeah.
Like they had like big eyes
Yeah.
or something like that. Many people theorize that it was like an owl that you kind of accidentally saw among the trees or something like that. Maybe the bright lights, I don't know. But it's really difficult to have not just you and your partner in the car with you, but another separate car that
Yep.
was already there. That's kind of, I think
Yep.
that's the thing that kind of makes it a little different.
I know
More
what
than
the-
one
I know
people?
what it was.
Oh, you
What?
do?
Kangaroos. They're tall, right? They're strong,
And they telepathically tell you,
and they'll attack you.
Do they
Let's-
have a hovercraft?
let's kill 'em, Mike.
Well, I don't know how they commute to work.
They fly to and from work.
So, all right. So let's get to some theories here on what happened.
Okay, so she was really concerned about this, actually. So
Okay.
she contacted a Sydney-based researcher named Bill Chalker, who was the head of a UFO investigation center. And he felt that this was a really important case, so he decided to investigate. And he called all his people, and they put a bunch of ads in local newspapers because they couldn't find the other people, that other car.
Oh, no
Oh.
They wanted to find those people. Where had they gone?
way. Okay.
So they put ads in the paper. Hey, did anybody see this at this time on
Because
this road?
somebody else did see it, so they wanted to find them.
Yeah. So they all through the country they had newspaper ads.
Okay.
And they got a response.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the people responded and they told their story, and their stories were identical, almost identical
Whoa.
to Kelly and her husband's story.
Really?
Yeah. So that's crazy, isn't it? And they actually, their stories went even further in detailing the experience. They said they had gone inside this mystery craft
Whoa.
where they were strapped to a table and examined by these strange beings.
Doctors, alien doctors.
And another funny thing is after this incident, all the women had the same little triangular wounds,
Oh.
little wounds right below their belly buttons. And 2 of the women had 3 dots on their inner thighs
Really?
in the exact same spot.
They got abducted by aliens.
One of them even had a circular scar around her entire ankle, as if she had been tied up.
Because aliens want to know about our ankles.
Oh.
They apparently
They had
do.
an ankle fetish or something.
Okay.
How do you explain this?
Wow. So there's no answers, even to this day. What happened?
So apparently that UFO organization, they prepared a 300-page research report,
Oh, whoa.
which they still have yet to release to this day
Oh, really?
for unknown reasons.
That makes it even more suspicious.
Yeah, she wrote a book. This was all over the media.
Is that right?
For some reason, she disappeared several years ago.
Oh.
We don't know if she literally disappeared or she just disappeared from the media.
Or from the
Okay.
book money. She's living on an island somewhere.
You have to buy the book online now.
Really interesting mystery. Thanks for that, Chris.